Greetings, beauties all over planet Earth. Take a deep breath and relax. It's your time now. Embracing the shadow. So much is happening on the earth, as it always has been and as it's always done. But now people are really feeling to their core the orchestra, the theatrics that are unfolding, and people feel a sense of fear, perhaps for the first time, a sense of fear of unknowing of what the future holds, a sense of fear of catching something. Let me just say that the shadow is a healthy aspect to know. The shadow represents the darker side, the side that most of us want to run away from. Most of us don't want to deal with because it feels uncomfortable and it brings up emotions that feel like are out of our depth and out of our comfort zone, and they scare us, and we just want to push them back where they're from and hope they just stay in the shadows and never come over our shoulder again. But accepting and appreciating what the shadow is allows us to surrender a little deeper to the truth that we are. And truly, the shadow teaches us more about what we are, sovereign divine beings of eternity, of divinity, and truly embracing the shadow allows us to know more about ourselves, and instead of fearing it, to look at why it is coming now, why it is showing and revealing itself now. Of course, we know on a personal level the shadow is in and out of our lives all life long, and it's never ending because it needs to be there, because you cannot have light without the dark, at least in this earth reality. This is our experience. But with the shadow, too much focusing on the shadow and from a perspective of fear can be very detrimental, and it can be a hindrance rather than a benefit. And fear, we know, is the absence of love. And so what's happening in the world right now is so much fear, so much perpetuating fear, control, fear, control, fear, control. And it's happening on such a subliminal level of the human body. Key words, key imagery. It's being programmed into your world, first of all as a shock and as a surprise, but now it's becoming normality, control and regulation and checking in and being monitored is becoming a regular thing. It is not natural, it is not regular, and you need to see that for what it is. There is so much drama being played out in the world right now, and it's going perfectly according to plan. And without going into detail about, the ins and outs, I'm talking about you right now and how you deal with the shadow. I had spoken about this years ago on some of my older videos, saying how this transition into the golden age, into the age of Aquarius, was going to be bumpy. This is exactly what I'm talking about. And let me tell you, this is just the cusp of what is to come. But if it was meant to be anybody else, it would be, but it's you. You're here. sovereign being of planet Earth, of the stars. You're here for this accelerated experience. And of course, there's so much dynamic experience to witness and to absorb. You know, people lose sight of the bigger picture of why they came to Earth. It's so easy to get caught up in the theatrics, which is happening right now. And so my message to you is to remember who you are. Remember where you're from. And that is of the stars. You are of eternity, and no thing or no human on this planet can take that away from you. Listen to your intuition and allow that to be your guiding compass throughout these challenging times. Don't lose sight of what it is that you are. Don't buy into what is happening if you don't want to experience it. Don't focus on it. Turn off media, turn it off. Know that there is so many more layers to your being and to what is unfolding. There's so much more that you are not being told about the grand scope of things. Just know that it's more than just black and white. So I don't share my opinion about the current events of the world unless it's invited. And if it is invited, you've got to be prepared, because I will 100% speak my truth. And you know, that may be a little more than what people bargain for, because I am certainly not the status quo, and I recognize who I am and my sovereignty in this point of the universe. Whether I'm a human or a woman of earth, doesn't matter. I know the fragrance of what I am, and that's so much more than this earth. And I hope you recognize that within yourself also. Seek only to know yourselves more and live in harmony with the ways of planet Earth. So open your eyes, open your ears, and not just your physical ones, but your cosmic ones also. Expand yourself and realize that this perspective is only one of an infinite many. I bid you a fond good evening, and may you always be blessed by the supreme truth and love of the cosmos. I love you.